Everybody knows what it's like to so-called lose it. Imagine if you were in that state for days, months, maybe years on end, in that same state.
I have been very upset by the reaction of people with me when I'm mentally ill. It's another extra burden on top of a very traumatic, hideous illness.
Being left behind by communities of people has been extremely soul-destroying and has left me developing worse illness over the years.
Once you are diagnosed with a mental illness, it's a stigma against you for life.
There's a national shift campaign that West London Mental Health Trust is supporting, and what that is attempting to do is shift people's attitude in society to those people who suffer from mental illness.
I was always out and about and being hypermanic and wanting to be outside and showing off that I was invincible. And in fact, there's 2 people now who still don't speak to me because of it.
Most of my friends, once they found that I was mentally ill and had to stay in hospital, dropped me. They had young children and maybe they thought I would harm them. That really upset me because I knew them for a long time, especially since I was small.
It's because of indifference and it's not ignorance, it's fear of what mental illness is.
What we'll be looking at is what we can do to support people in terms of preparing them for employment, for training, for education, and in attending training, education and work, it will help them to develop friendships, and we will be supporting them in doing that, including support around social skills and integration.
I was working for a small company here in London and I happened to go down with my mental illness and I had to go to hospital. My boss found out that I was in a mental hospital, and when I went back to get the job, he said it was no longer available.
I think that some people will be passed over for promotion because I don't think people will be deemed capable. There are very few people working in higher management with severe mental health problems.
The problem with employers is, does one say I am mentally ill, or does one hide it and not tell them?
We know nationally there is a problem with employers employing people with mental illness. Mental illness is the single biggest component of those people claiming incapacity benefit, and what we need to do is find ways of supporting those people back into employment. We have a number of initiatives within the Trust. We have the Cafe on the Hill project, which is run by patients, for staff and patients on the site, giving real employment and the opportunity to study friendly cues as part and parcel of that work.
I think there's times when the media reporting is really negative, and through portrayal of what the media say, the public think that people with mental health problems are violent, and that isn't the case.
They never put in a positive story. You always hear the horrible stories, you know, madman kills, but they never put in crazy person gets job and becomes well and marries and has children. So, you know, that just is blatantly obvious, you know, the way they think about us.
The trouble with the media reporting at the moment is very often they're sensationalised, they're very damaging to the individuals and those suffering from mental illness, and they tarnish everybody with the same brush. What we're trying to do is challenge the media traditional type of reporting, try and make sure that they get their facts right, try and make sure that they use the right sort of terminology. We will be setting up a panel to look at media reporting locally and encourage them to write in. So we'll have some kind of alert system in place where we think there's been an inappropriate reporting. That'll be circulated to members of the networking group, and they'll be encouraged individually in their own right to write in and challenge that style of reporting. Ultimately, what we hope the overall campaign will achieve, both at a national level and again here in West London, is that it'll achieve much greater acceptance of people with mental illness into society, much greater integration of those people back into society, but also the opportunity for them to fulfil their maximum potential by not being stigmatised or prejudiced against.